Afternoon, you lovely lot. How are we doing? Welcome to another episode of Adam's Eats. Today, I'm going to make something which is really going to put a big blanket around you. You know when there's a bit of a nip in the air, which there is now, right? Winter's well on its way, and you just want something to give you a nice big hug. Okay, so that's what I'm going to make today. And what is it? It's a Welsh rarebit soup, right? And now, for those of you who don't know what Welsh rarebit is, it's an old sort of Welsh dish. Well, it's called Welsh, but you know the Scottish have it. There's an English version of it as well, and it's beer and cheese sort of mixed together in like a sauce. It's put over some toast, grilled, and it is delicious. But I'm going to make a soup form of that. So it's got bacon in it, it's got cheese, it's got a nice beer in it. You have to use beer really, because if you use something like a stout or an ale, it might just be a bit too bitter. So I'm going to use a nice light lager. So that's what we're going to do with that. It's got onions in it, a bit of mustard. It's absolutely delicious and a big old hug on a nice cold day. So as usual, pop down here, I'll show you the ingredients, and yeah, we'll make some beer, bacon and cheese soup. Okay, right, so as per usual, I'll put the exact quantities in the description below. But essentially what you've got some stock, bacon, onions, finely diced, a bit of garlic, English mustard, some mature cheddar cheese, or if you're in America, sharp cheddar, some plain flour, a good beer, none of your cheap naff stuff, you just want a nice good light beer, and some milk. And that's it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fry up our bacon, because we want that nice and crisp before we do anything else. Okay, right, so we all know how to fry bacon. Get that in your frying pan on a medium heat, and you just want to fry up your diced bacon until it's nice and crisp. This will take probably about 4-6 minutes or so. Right, so I've crisped up my bacon. I've just popped it on a little plate, and I'm going to put that to one side. And any kind of stuff that's left in this pan, any bits of, caramelization on the bottom here, and any bit of fat that's left in there, leave that in, don't chuck that away. Because what we're going to do now is going to add our onions, and on a nice low to medium heat, throw it all over the cooker. You just want to cook these down until they're nice and soft. Okay, so that'll take about sort of another 5 minutes or so, because I've chopped these nice and fine, and we'll come back and we'll move on to the next step. Right, so after about 5 minutes, they're just turned nice and soft and translucent. Now you want to add your garlic. Don't add your garlic in right at the beginning, because it'll have a tendency to catch and burn. Cook that garlic out for just a minute or so. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add our beer. You want to bring that to a boil, and then you just want to simmer that until it's reduced by about half. So we'll come back in a minute when that's done. Should take again about another 10-15 minutes, something like that. Right, so as you can see, after about 10 minutes, you can see that the beer has reduced down by half. So we can put that to one side. Now we're going to make a roux. Now I forgot to mention as well, you need some butter as well. Don't need to be the exact measurement, just a sort of knob of butter like that. And what we're going to do is get the heat on into there and melt that butter. So once your butter's sort of almost melted, get your flour in. Now this isn't how you would traditionally make a roux, as it's known, because with a roux you would normally use equal quantities of butter with flour, but what we're trying to do here is to just get the thing started, and just an incy wincy bit of stock to get it going. Probably say 100 ml, something like that. So what we want to do is we want to cook out the rawness of that flour. Okay, it looks a mess to start with, I know, but bear with me. Now you just want to add in your reduced beer and onions, get that in. And mix that through. It'll start to look like a complete mess. It'll be fine, don't you worry, it'll all come together. Okay, so then we just want to add a bit more stock. Keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. So once that stock's kind of absorbed a bit, put the rest in now. Okay, now you're just going to go in with your milk. Don't worry about odd bits and lumps of flour if there's any left in there, because we're going to strain it anyway. So don't worry about it. So I'll come back in about sort of 15-20 minutes and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so the soup's been simmering now for about 15 minutes. It's got nice and thick, so it's going to strain this because there's going to be lumps in there, lumps of flour, there's going to be lumps of onion, so we just want to get rid of those right now. So we'll just strain that through a sieve using a spoon, just work it through. Okay, so you just want to take a spoon, just push all that through to get all that liquid out, and those onions and any other gubbins is left behind. As you can see, it's nice and smooth, silky, and going to be delicious. So we'll get that back in the pan now and we'll add the cheese. Right, so our soup is now looking lovely and smooth, and we're going to go and start adding our cheese. This soup's on a low heat now, okay, you don't want to go in too aggressive now. So we're going to start adding our cheese. You want to do just small handfuls at a time, and you want to stir that till it's all nice and melted through. Okay, so my cheese is now melted through the soup, and I'm just going to add some mustard now. Now, it all depends on how much you like your mustard as to how much you put in. I'm going to put a teaspoon in to start with, okay, because remember you can always add more, you can't take away. So say mix that through, give it a taste. A little bit more mustard. I've also got a bit more milk on the side. Again, this is personal preference as to how thick you like your soup, as to whether you want to thin it out a bit more. This is the kind of stage that you want to do that, okay, before you add your salt and pepper. So I'm going to mix that last bit of mustard in, give it another taste. Okay, I'm just going to add just a touch more milk. It's a little bit too thick for me. Now remember that bacon we crisped off earlier? You want to add that now to your soup, so you get those nice little hidden gems of crispiness running through the soup, and that'll warm the bacon up as well. Give it another taste. Now you've added the bacon, because we're now going to check for salt and pepper. Because remember, bacon's quite salty, so you want to taste it first. Don't think that needs any salt at all. But what we're going to do is hit it with some pepper. Something like half a teaspoon, something like that. Right, so I've given my soup a final season and it is ready to go. So we'll get that served up and we'll have a taste. Okay, got some nice deep bowls. This isn't one of those soups where you would have as a starter for a meal. This is something that you would have just to give you a nice big cuddle at the end of the day. And I've just got, this is extra, this is optional, but I've just got some freshly cut fresh chives. I'm just going to sprinkle some of those over the top. And there we go, folks. Your soup is ready to go. Right, I suppose we'd best have a taste. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. Velvety, delicious, hot on my hands. Here we go. Oh my word. That is amazing. That is absolutely delicious. Well, folks, that is a winner. Honestly, give that a go. It's cheesy, it's silky, it's comforting. You've got that kind of salty kick on the bacon. A real winner. I suppose as well, it's kind of multi-use. Any soup you've got left, reduce that down a bit more, mix in with some pasta, got yourself a pasta sauce. Because that's almost what it is, essentially. It's like a bechamel, but with obviously the bacon running through it and the beer and the onions. So yeah, that is so good, really comforting. I urge you to give it a go. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you like the recipe. Give it a go. Fantastic autumnal dish. Great with some crusty bread, absolutely delicious. So yeah, please make it. Leave a comment below as well if you like the recipe, if you don't like the recipe. Always happy to hear from you. So yeah, like, share and subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks and bye for now.